Focusing now on Karnataka, where as many as 1,182 farmers have died by suicide, and this is just in the last 15 months in Karnataka. Most of the farmers' suicides that have been reported in Karnataka came from three districts, from Belagavi, Haveri and Dharwad. 122 cases in Belagavi, 120 in Haveri and 101 cases in Dharwad. The cause for farmer distress can be mainly attributed to 5 reasons. There's been severe drought in Karnataka, which has led to farmers suffering unprecedented losses, crop loss therefore, rising debt, unreachability of crops and delay in loan repayments. The BJP has cited these rise in suicide cases to lash out at the Congress. Remember that a Karnataka minister, Shivanand Patil, had sparked a controversy by saying that the number of farmer suicides in the state has increased after the government raised the compensation to 5 lakh. So he claims that the number of suicides has gone up because families want that compensation amount. Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar also said that people who are dying by suicide are for their own reasons and they cannot be termed as farmers. So in the light of these kind of insensitive remarks being made by representatives of the government, you've got the BJP lashing out at the Congress. Let's take this across to Sagai Raj, who's joining us live from Bengaluru with more details on this. Sagai, shocking figures that are coming in, 1,200 cases of suicide in 15 months. We understand, of course, that there's been a severe drought that's had an impact on crop yield in the last few months. But what's really added to this tragedy is the fact that it looks like the government isn't taking this seriously, looking at the kind of statements that have come in.
Absolutely. Last year, there were insensitive statements from the minister saying that there are various reasons. It's not only because of crop loss or due to drought. They have categorically mentioned that probably this might be even for personal reasons, but still it has been counted because they are farmers, and this has been included in the suicide cases of farmers. So after that particular statement, the BJP had slammed Karnataka Congress government, saying that they are insensitive and they are against the farmers. And now the data which has been released by the revenue department in the DCs and chief executive officers meeting last week in the month of on 8th of July, it has categorically mentioned that 1,182 farmers have died by suicide, and the reasons mentioned by in all those report clearly shows that it is because of crop loss, drought and debt that all these farmers have committed suicide. We just spoke to the agriculture minister. He has said that the numbers have been decreased comparatively the last few years, and especially last year, the Karnataka had faced a severe drought, a huge drought when you compare to in the last 100 years, and probably that is one of the reasons. But the government also claims that they are trying to work hard to zero the numbers of farmer suicide in the days to come.
Okay, Sagai, referring to the agriculture minister's reaction there, which will play out also for our viewers, the government maintains that there hasn't been any sort of mammoth rise in farmer suicides. So when these kind of comments come in, there will be questions about whether the government is serious about tackling this crisis, about reaching out to these farmers and helping them in every way they can. At the same time, referring to the drought situation and the condition, the government has maintained that this is because they haven't received enough support from the central government. Let's play out for you Chalavaraya Swami's reaction, the agriculture minister. Okay, we'll get you that reaction in just a bit of the state agriculture minister on what he has to say about the rising farmer suicides in Karnataka. At this point, of course, a lot of questions being asked of the government on what they're doing to address this particular crisis. There's been an unprecedented drought, but is the government doing enough to reach out to farmers in this kind of an unprecedented situation? We've unfortunately seen some very, very insensitive comments also coming in where they've pinned the blame on farmers. You've had D.K. Shivkumar saying these aren't really farmers who are going ahead and taking their own lives. There have been other ministers who've even said that the reason these suicides have gone up is because the compensation amount has gone up. So farmers' families want that amount to reach their pockets. So it's these kind of insensitive remarks that's only added to further
last week, showing that 1,182 farmers have committed suicide and died in last 15 months. And the reason for this is drought, crop loss and debt. How do you see this and what the government is doing as an agriculture minister?
Last year, not much of 1,500.
1,182, sir.
1,100.
Revenue Department
Revenue
data.
Department. I'll check up today. But comparatively early is less last year death case. Last year drought too much comparatively 100 years is a very serious drought. Central government is not cooperate also. You know better than me. So finally I am going to Supreme Court and get some relief. So government of Karnataka lot of relief to farmers. So but several different angle is a suicide case. So government of Karnataka is try to zero suicide. So last year many program, 5 guarantee also is impact this case. So in other agriculture and horticulture and other department and many support to farmers. So try to maximum help to farmers.
Okay. Sir, especially debt has been shown in the data also, sir. How do you see debt and how the government is going to handle that, the farmers' debt?
So already, Sala already, so 13 to 18 Sidramaya Mukhyamantri time. So 3 lakhs zero interest. Last 5 years not extended. Now is 3 to 5 lakhs zero interest and 10 to 15 lakhs 3%. Only Congress government this type of programs and help to farmers. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, let's bring in Mr. S. Prakash of the Karnataka BJP on this broadcast. Mr. Prakash, questions being asked right now of the Karnataka government over the number of farmer suicides, but they've pinned the blame on the central government, saying Karnataka has seen an unprecedented drought and there was no help from the centre.
No, it is always the habit of Mr. Siddaramaya government to put the blame on central government even for his own shortcomings. Even during his last stint as Chief Minister, more than 3,600 farmers had committed suicide. It was number 1 in the state. It is very unfortunate, even in the second term also, 1,200 farmers have already committed suicide in the very first year. Instead of focusing on the issues, agrarian issues, Mr. Siddaramaya is busy attacking the central government and staying away from the developmental activities and always speaking against the central government. It is better he focus on the real issue of farmers and provide solutions to it. None of the ministers have so far visited the places of where farmers have committed suicide and ensured they gain confidence and stop all these unfortunate incidents. They are only interested in optics of populism, not on concrete and long-term solutions.
Okay, Mr. Prakash, thank you for joining us with your view on what's happening right now in Karnataka. I want to quickly hand this over to Sagai Raj, who's got, in fact, BJP leaders also with him to get their reaction. Sagai, it's over to you.
Sir, how do you see the data which has been released by Revenue Department of 1,182 farmers have died by suicide because of drought, crop loss and debt? And the government says that this is a less number because the drought was quite severe and there was no cooperation from the central government in releasing the fund for the drought.
Today our state government led by Siddaramaya is least bothered about the farmers, poor and the labour class. They are only blaming the central government, but they are not doing their duty. It is their duty to fulfill the demands of the farmers, to give them protection, to give them grants and all. But today, in between them only Congress, there are so many complications, issues and all. So that they can't separate their issues, so they are blaming the central government. I demand the government to first fulfill the demands of the farmers who have lost their life. So nearly 1,800 farmers have lost their life. But they are neglecting all the farmers so that people know what about the Congress is doing now. Because
it is an open secret that the government went to the Supreme Court. After that only the central government has succumbed to the pressure and released the funds. Don't you think that there is a role of the central government also when it comes to releasing the funds for drought compensation?
So today they are doing the drama. Last 2 days before they have filed a complaint against ED. that means they are overlapping their rights, so blaming each another. So first let them present how many funds, grants have been given to the farmers. Then let them urge to the central government. So that we are also there in Vidhana Saudha. Let them request, we 224 MLAs will go to the central government, if so. But simply blaming is not fact.
This is Yashpal Suvarna, BJP MLA, who says that the state government is blaming the central government when it comes to these kind of issues, especially the farmer suicide, and the Karnataka government is not serious in addressing all these issues of the farmers.
All right, Sagai, thanks very much for getting us those live reactions.